are live. So those who are joining on Facebook. All right, cool. How is everybody doing? I like to have the small group so we can have some serious discussions today. Who is ready for some serious discussions, some deep topics, some deep questions and answers? Well,
ask us anything, we'll answer.
Okay.
So as we get started, there is one announcement I would like to give you guys just for before you start thinking about any different kind of questions. If you have any questions on product side, on science, or on anything like that, you know, like sometimes people go and ask, you know, what about this symptom or this or something like that. Please use science@therootbrands.com. We have few doctors, few scientists behind it that are actually gonna be attending any of those kind of questions. So this is what is the message, you know, from the entire corporate. Use science@therootbrands.com when it comes to that. So even when you or your you know, potential customers or existing customers or your ambassadors are gonna be texting our support chat, they're also gonna get about the same answer that in any kind of these questions, they have to go to science@therootbrands.com. Just so you know that, just because to make sure that everything is playing into the right channels to be able to get the right answers, because obviously, you know, we do not, you know, treat, cure, or prevent any kind of disease. But on the other side, I know that from the science standpoint, there could be some very appropriate answers on some kind of things. That is the reason why science. Yeah, science at let us put it in the chat, in the comments. Let's put it on here.
Yeah.
Science@therootbrands.com. Let me help you with my ad because European keywords are different. It's always so crazy, right? When all those keywords have different keys and so on, and then, okay, science@therootbrands.com. Yeah, this is the email that you can message and you or, you know, your customers or your potential customers. Because I know sometimes people come and say, hey, you know what, this is what I really need an answer. This is what I would like to have more kind of like clarity on it. And, you know, they can send it to science@therootbrands.com and they will be given best possible answers on specific things, all right? So I think with that, we solved one part of today's questions, right? Which means we are not going to talk much about the science or the products or any of these kind of things. However, any other questions you guys might have, feel free to ask. Maybe before we go into questions, because I see some of you are still kind of like in deep thinking of what questions are. Just to give you a little bit of update from our IT side, just because of there has been a lot of things happening lately on that part. You're gonna be seeing probably sometimes over the next few days some significant changes on the checkout process. What I mean with that is basically the card payment is gonna be different. First of all, you're gonna be able to save your card inside the profile. So like, let's say, for example, if you want to add card, you can even add PayPal inside. So you can have like options to add different payment methods. And then you're gonna be able to do, okay, this is primary, this is secondary or whatever. So even when the smart chip runs through and let's say the primary option is not going through, the system will still retry with the secondary option to go through the smart chip order. So we've been doing this on the backside to be able to help more of your customers, like getting the smart chips through and all those kind of things. So that's one of the ways. So you're gonna be actually seeing it, pre-saved options in card plus in smart chip. Plus also smart chip is gonna be connected to PayPal. So you'll be able to actually set up smart chip on PayPal as well, not just on Visa or MasterCard or on a credit card. So this is the thing. And then another thing that is gonna be on the checkout side, there is going to be a separated shipping and billing address. because of some cards are requiring to have exact billing address inside for them to go through, and to make sure that they are verified the right way and so on. So there is no any kind of like frauds or something like that. So that's gonna be a part as well. So you're gonna be seeing it, either use it as shipping and billing the same, or separate, shipping different and billing different. The next thing that is gonna be also is, I'm trying to think about it because I'm giving you directly from the latest development that's been happening. What else do we have in this part? Okay, so smart chip, the cards, and the shipping. Okay, and the last thing that is important when we are saving the cards, just so you know, because I think it's in these days it's really important, specifically like for security of our customers and potential customers and so on. We are not storing any credit card information in any of our servers or something like that. It's done through the very, very secure third-party thing, which is actually provider of the credit cards as well, the merchant account, which means, even in, of course, we have security in the first place when it comes to the website and the data and so on. But just so you know, like even with all that measurements, we do not store the card informations in our servers, but they're actually going into like the most secure places that you can have in the merchant by itself, to be there. And then whenever our system needs it, takes it out with a special token that is generated uniquely for this specific card, and it can be used in our system. So that's when it comes to updates. Okay, questions.
Can I start?
Yes, you can start. You're actually, I can see your first one on the screen here, so I guess you start.
Okay. There were a lot of questions today about the prices from the countries. Get we still this in the back office, or don't we do this?
You mean to find the prices?
In each country. So from dollars, euros, Turkey, whatever.
So there is one good thing about the prices in our system, and this one that is actually refresh the price immediately. I don't know if you noticed that. For example, let's say you can have 3 different addresses in your shipping addresses, and let's say you select, let's say Germany is gonna immediately show you the price with VAT and with the shipping for Germany, and then you just switch it, let's say to Netherlands, and it's gonna also immediately refresh the price from German price with VAT and shipping to Netherlands VAT and shipping. So that's one way. Like, for example, if you need to check any price, that's probably the easiest way to do it. You can actually just add whatever, you just can call it like a test account, a test address or something, and then just keep changing the countries, and you're gonna see all the prices there. That would probably be, the easiest way right now to have exact prices inside the system immediately.
But it is still the prices from dollars.
Yes, all the prices are in dollars. There is no any prices in any other currencies.
Because
no any other prices.
We last year in November, December, you say that we get maybe the prices also in other currencies.
I know. It's just the thing that is connected. As I already mentioned, I think 2 weeks ago, that is connected with the payouts as well, because once the pay-ins are, for example, in euros, then also payouts needs to be in euros and so on. So then this is connected then with having different payout option, and then like we already spoke about having like different extra things like Zofort or like Ideal or all those other things that can immediately come in place when the entire thing is done through that way. So. But this is kind of like connecting with all the things. It's going through legal, it's going through finances, it's going through the merchant processing. So like all those different kind of things. That is the reason why it's not just one piece of the pie that you can just implement it and get it done. That's the reason why it is what it is.
Sometimes we get it. We get it.
Yes, I mean, like again, we've been we wanted to be as much as optimistic as possible, but I guess we just have to get it done and say, here it is, right? The same like with some other things that we've been doing lately on the IT site and so on. Once it's done, it's there, and then we can use it immediately. So that's how it is. So I'm just, I know it's a high priority.
For the Dutch people, it's a high priority.
I know it's a high priority. That's what I always say, like what I would do, until we get there, or until we have these options, then, just surf from your site as much as you can to find different solutions to go around it, or
I do a lot, but yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, but absolutely, I know it's kind of like a high thing, and absolutely, it's priority from all those departments to get it together and give it out for you guys.
Okay. For me, that's the number one, and the rest is not important.
Okay. Is that the one and the only one?
No, I have more, but there are more people.
All right. I was afraid this is the only one.
Oh no, I have a lot.
All right, cool. See, I knew that we need to have questions and answers. Like I know that when Mika shows you the entire notebook of questions, then you know it's time for questions.
When is restart coming? Next question.
Probably she needs an own call.
Yeah, I think.
I think we have Birgit, so let's go ahead.
I think Mika have more questions.
Go ahead, Mika.
Only this one, and the rest is for the other people. Huh? Can you tell something about Restore, maybe?
Well, I'm just like, again, I'm not gonna say any date, because if I say it and if it's day after it or something like that, I'm not gonna say the date. I'm just gonna say that if you saw the video last week, then you might be kind of like suspecting that something is very near and is gonna be ready. But again, you've got the nail.
Is it on the boat or is it in the flight?
Sorry?
Is it on the boat? Or is it in the...
No, for sure it's not going to be on the boat. Just so you know, for sure it's not going to be on the boat. So too many crazy things happening in all the things around to even put these things on a boat, because then we can seriously probably think about whatever the date can be. So you just saw that for the last 1 week the entire, what they call the Suez Canal, right, is blocked because of one boat, and all the traffic back and forward is stopped, for example. So yeah, then I guess you need to have a helicopter as well to save the containers and move them, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So no, it's not going to be on the boat, for sure not. So
I have a question, Dino. The signs at therootbrands.com for questions. Is it also questions from customers? Or
yeah,
only
everybody who have any kind of questions on the product or the science or anything like that, just feel free to send it to science@therootbrands.com.
Nice, thank you.
Yep, absolutely.
Are they willing to, like, if someone is sending a question in German or in any other language, are they willing to copy and like Google transfer or something, or do we have to or should in English?
Well, we try to do the best with what Google Translate give us an option, right, or something like that. So if it's not 100% perfect, I guess then it's just because it's Google Translate used, but on the other side, I think it's still better not being translated at all. So
okay.
So what do you prefer? If you prefer in English and get answer in English, do that. But if someone doesn't know English and just want to ask, and maybe you're not going to translate for them, then let them just send in their own language.
Yeah, no, I meant more like the other side of the email, like the science behind it, like doctors, are they willing to translate, or shall we tell our people to translate for front up?
Yeah, I mean, like again, if it's gonna be, let's say in German, then it just needs to be put in Google Translate, and then they see whatever question it is, then they put the answer in English and then translate it back to German. Know how much point is gonna be lost through it? I can't tell you. It's like I can generally tell you that I've noticed that some languages are translated pretty good, but some languages are really not are not getting the point of it. See what I'm saying? So it just depends probably on the language.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks.
All right, who's next?
Birgit has a question.
I guess, Birgit, you need to unmute
you need
yourself.
to unmute yourself, Birgit.
Let me see.
I think it went to mute again. Anyway, I have a question. Sometimes we have difficulties ordering. It always stops the process. And then I told people to go out and refresh the page or delete the cookies, and it always works afterwards. But when you give in the money you have in the e-wallet, it naturally flies out again when you go in again, and people forget it, take the order, and it didn't take the money from the e-wallet. Is there a chance that you implement a button where it says always take amount that you have in your e-wallet first for your order, and then add the rest from the credit card that is fixated in there? Because that would be very easy. I had that in a different company where they had a little button and you click on it, always use e-wallet amount first, and then the rest from the credit card. That would make it easier when you always fly out of the computer, give everything in, and forgot to give in that amount, you know. So, because everything deletes all the time. I guess now when we can leave the credit cards in and they don't fly out when you refresh the page and they're still in there, that would be an option too. But
yeah, there are actually two solutions on this specific part. The first one is that with this change over the next days, it's actually gonna help you, or I would say anyone who experienced this kind of issue, that they shouldn't experience this issue anymore, because there have been some different things like adjusted, or I would say made for different browsers and all those kind of things as well. But then the second one as well, yes, you will be able to say like, just use my balance, you know, always before my credit card payment or something like that, and then you can use this one. Yeah.
That would be great, because then people just click it and whatever is in their e-wallet is added to their order, and the rest goes automatically from credit card. That would save a lot of steps, you know, for customers to go through.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yep, absolutely. I can see we can also have Mr. Clayton here. Hey, Clayton. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask him as well.
Can I give you guys one update?
Yes.
I know that there's one thing that everyone's waiting for right now. So tomorrow night hold on, let me make sure that I'm accurate in what I'm saying. So I don't want to be inaccurate. So I think it's like 9:55 tomorrow night. I get to fly to Texas. So Wednesday morning, I will be in a manufacturing facility, and I'm going to do a Facebook Live. And Christina and I will be there because she's meeting with 10:50 tomorrow. We get in at 11 tomorrow. So Wednesday is going to be a fun day because we got our good microphone for all the podcast stuff that we're setting up, and the camera, and my iPhone will be doing some stuff because the first batch, I think it's 45,000 boxes of Restore are getting produced on Wednesday. So excited. So
awesome.
Me too.
We'll be doing some stuff on Wednesday live from Texas, where we're getting stuff done. So here's the one thing: we had the timing aspect that we hit on about April 9th. I think we're gonna do that with one caveat, right? And this is from the logistical perspective that we'll have to navigate a little bit. And Dino's been really good at this part, and that's making sure that when we ship everything over and how we get stuff over to Amsterdam and to Europe, that it'll be there quickly. But if it has to go through customs and stuff and gets hung up, then we'll navigate that. But here's the other cool part. and I'll have the documents for Zero In this week, but I think, we've already posted the NPN number for Clean Slate and Restore. They're already approved in Canada. So EU certification for a Restore is going to be really simple because it's already approved in Canada, which is basically the other part of the EU. So we're good on that. And then Zero In should have its NPN number this week. I have to make a phone call and confirm that. And so it's go time. And I know how many of your customers and how many of our ambassadors have been waiting to order more products until Restore is here. It's here. It's coming. And as Christina says, and this is a bold statement because you guys have been here, right? You know this. When my wife says that Restore is going to be the most impactful of the group, you know what Clean Slate does? Have you seen what Zero In does? And she's saying this is better than all of them. So we will, we're going to put together the pricing for the Trinity, and we'll got to design a pretty cool logo for it, but it's coming and it's going to be here quick. So yeah, look for me to go live on Wednesday at some point so we can have some fun, and then away we go. It's going to be the coolest umbrella you've ever seen. No more rain.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Great. Well, I know you got it from the first hand, the information.
That's the answer.
That's the answer, Mika.
Woohoo!
All right. Who else have a question?
Yo, Dino.
Yes.
Hi. Sorry, I jumped on the call late. Is this questions and answers for anything to do with the business or?
Yes, we already said that like when it comes to the products, any questions should go to science@therootbrands.com.
Okay, so is this for the business?
So,
then?
but when it comes to anything else, just go ahead.
Okay, I've got a suggestion. When people click on a link, can we have it so that it says referred by, say, Sandy G, like straight away, or I don't know, Joe Blogs, because there are people clicking on links, but it's not being assigned to the right person.
Well, Dino, go ahead and hit on that, and then I'll.
Well, no, I just wanted to say that it actually says, it actually even asks you to confirm it, because before you actually click register, it says, I confirm that so yeah. Person referred me, right? So if you see that, there is a wrong person, then obviously they have wrong link or something like that. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's just not, people are like, they just click it and they don't read it properly. So if it's at the top of the screen, you've been referred by Sandy Goal or Joe Blogs or Dino, whatever, at the top of the screen.
Well, the big differentiator on that is you see that with replicated websites on an MLM format. With this not being MLM, right? It's all referral driven. So you're giving someone a code, and then they're shopping on the main website with your referral code. So it's tracking everything. Here's the important part, at least from my perspective, right? The further away we get from the look of the MLM space, the stronger we're going to be.
Okay.
But it's because we're not. I mean, and I think the importance of that is going to become even, I think, more influential here shortly, because you guys have a different. We know two products are extremely differentiating in the space. I mean, there's no one that can do what we do. When Restore comes out, we have, and for the first time, honestly, I mean, we have really influential people that in conversations that are like, I want to use that. I want to try it. People that aren't even familiar with the MLM industry and all the different products sold and such. So and this is the important part of really managing your relationships, that you want to make sure that people have the right code. And I know that our programming team has done a lot of work to make sure that when you send someone a link, Dino, correct me if I'm wrong, that the link that they send, it stays static with that for at least 24 hours. Unless
actually, Clayton, it stays in as long as you have these specific like cookies in or whatever. So it can stay up to like 30 days or so. But the only problem what people have is that they go Google on, they go Google and they put in clean slate or zero in or something like that. So let's say, for example, Sandy has sent them a link on Thursday. They clicked on the link and they came to the website, and Sandy was in their, browser as a referral, right? And then on Friday, this person went back to Google and they were like, oh, let me go and Google some testimonials on Clean Slate or something like that. So they came to one other website and they clicked on this specific referral link and they came back to the website and now they said, okay, and now I'm going to go and place an order. But no, of course, there is no Sandy inside anymore because they actually kind of like, rewritten the referral, right? So that's where the problem is. It's not a problem that the links are not working, but people are people. And I'm always going to tell you, people are always going to be people. That's why you have to, you have to follow up real good. So go ahead, Clay.
No, so that brings really to the important part, right? There's an adage in sales and marketing that I was taught years ago when I started in the financial services industry. The fortune is in the follow-up.
Yeah.
Just sending someone a link going, oh yeah, this is the greatest thing ever, check it out. And I'm going to make money. No, that's not how you make money. Because you got to remember, you're not just trying to make a sale on something. One, you're building a relationship. And you guys all know this, and all of our ambassadors and really our customers too, anybody that's sharing this is not something that it's a quick hit. It's not a get rich quick thing. It's intentionally designed that way. I was having the conversation with somebody yesterday about that, of why our approach has been difficult for people like in the United States to understand, especially for those that have been in the direct sales industry for so long, because we're not playing a money game. If you know how to build legitimate business people that know how to build businesses, like real companies, real businesses, real financial infrastructure, look at this and go, this is freaking amazing. But we're not playing the pack game. We're not, having people spend all this money up front and, playing all these games with money. You actually have to create long-term revenue in the corporate world. You have to build a foundation, and you stack pennies, or you stack nickels, you stack dimes, you stack dollars. You don't stack hundies, right? If you're doing that, it's not going to last long. It's a game. So this takes a little bit more work, right? But it's consistent, because what's important? Products work. Right? And you don't want someone garage qualified. You say, hey, try this, follow up with them, see how they're doing. And that's where I can give all of you guys credit for all the Facebook groups and the communication, because watching feedback, especially in the UK now, because we were basically next day delivery for standard delivery. Yeah. It's crazy. But the more engaged you are, because look at it the other way. Your engagement with someone in a conversation and sharing a link with them and following up, it's not about selling them something. You're sharing with them because you actually care, right? You're investing your time, your heart in their health or in their happiness. So following up with that is just creating a further foundation of caring and showing some love.
Can't hear you.
Like Dino hit on, people, I still don't know why people type in the search bar into Google, oh, I'm looking at this website. It's like, no, just type in the website or click on the link. But some people still don't understand how to do that. So you have to babysit a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. And what's the deadline to change? Because I'm dealing with one right now. I spotted it basically. Someone said they bought I couldn't spot them in my downline. I got back to the sponsor, introduced them. And anyway, they've sent an email to compliance. Is it 72 hours from when they bought the product?
Yeah, so what we do, Sandy, is like customer can always, be a customer, whoever, right? Like there is no, you can't say like, I'm customer today and, like whatever, you can change your sponsor or whatever, right? But when it comes to the orders, what we have in our policies is that if it's within 72 hours, also the order is gonna be moved to the new sponsor automatically, right? But if it's after 72 hours, they need to have permission from the, from the old sponsor, because here's the thing, like if you don't notice for 3 days that you don't have a customer in your organization, you even get email when you get a customer, then you're like Clayton said, you don't do any follow-ups at all, right? If you don't notice that in 3 days. And Sandy, I'm just gonna give you one tip. Like the reason why I'm gonna give you that, because it's gonna help so many of you guys here. I never had anyone in my lifetime register under someone else. And you know why? Because I never gave them a referral link out. I gave them the website and I told them, when you're ready, tell me so I can guide you through the process if needed. Yep. So every time when they came back and said, hey, I want to create an account, but it's requiring referral code. Okay, here it is. And then I know exactly they are on at this specific moment. And if after 10 minutes or 15 minutes, I don't get an email, I can go back and say, hey man, what happened? You said that you are just registering right now. And then they can say, oh, I registered. Oh, no, you can't, because I would see the email. See what I'm saying? So that is one of the reasons why I don't send out links. I can give them the website by itself, because then they are stopped. They know that they need to have a referral. In that case, I tell them, here's the website. If in any case you would like to create your own account, get back to me so I can give you appropriate referral code.
Okay, fair enough. All right.
That way you create expectations, because one of the things that really is going to help you be successful is to always have the next meeting, like the next meeting and the next meeting. Like always when you talk to somebody, the best way to follow up is to create an expectation. We're gonna talk after you see the website, after you register, then just send me a message so we can I can guide you to place your order. After you place your order, okay, so there's always this thing about setting up the next meeting. And it's like, people don't want to actually work. Some people just believe that it's just sending out a link or posting a whole bunch of the product on your Facebook or your social media. But in reality, that actually creates this thing that people are gonna go and Google it, because you don't provide with the information. You just provide a link and a whole bunch of products on your social media, but there's no value. But when you develop the relationship, there's always going to be a meeting, and people are going to be expecting to talk to you, and you're gonna guide them by the hand. And that is how you build strong communities.
Yeah. That's right.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Thanks, guys.
Absolutely. All right. Who else have a question?
Hey, Dino, it's Nicole.
Hey, Nicole.
Hey. Thank you for sharing that, because I get confused on follow-ups. And for an example, I was at a health fair and there was different vendors there, like clay jewelry and just different things, nail polishes, and I received everybody's phone number from that event. And when I reached out to them, I shared a video, and I was just very brief, and I followed up with them a couple days afterwards, and nobody gets back to me. So that was a question of mine, is if I should immediately hey, check out my website with my link, or just like you had said, for just do the rootbrands.com. And then do I say something like, you'll need a referral code? And then do I share that with them? Just say, just type in, Nikki RB or, my link with them. Because I don't want to be too, I don't want to be too pushy and too forceful with them. I just want them to understand the true gift that I have for them. These are health, people that I went to see. So, so just like when I do my follow-up, can you just give me something to say? Like, here's rootbrands.com, here's their link. and whatever you just said.
Well, the thing is that, again, Nicole, the same like Danny just said, you always want to have the next excuse to talk with this person or to have the appointment or something like that, right? So imagine if you have it made the way like says, hey, you know what? Here are all the things. You can go to the website and look up, and and in case you might be interested in getting to know more, or even creating your free account with us, or place an order or something like that, make sure that you use the referral code. Just text me and I'm gonna give you the referral code so you can actually create your own account, because that's what's gonna make them understand, okay, so no, I want to create an account. I know that Nicole told me I need to message her. I need to get back to her to do that. And once the person gets back to you, they will actually, like, even if they would go through some other website, Nicole, and come to the website with the referral, they will still have in their mind that you told them that they need to contact you before they create an account to get a referral code. See what I'm saying? So that's gonna make them like always get back to you. So then the next thing that Danny said is also really important. It's not, you don't want them just to register, right? You want them to place an order. So now, once you know they are registering right now, then you can take them exactly to the next step. Okay, so what kind of products are you willing to try? Because you can take it forward, because if they are creating an account right now, they're not creating an account just because they want an account. They are probably creating an account because they want to buy products, right? So you can take this and create specific question to say, okay, great. So I see that you just create your account. So what kind of products are you interested? What are you looking into? What are you trying to buy right now to try it out? So you have another, how we would say, excuse to reach out to them and see how you can help them to answer any kind of questions, right?
Yes.
Can I add to that for real quick?
Yes, sir.
So Nicole, the big thing, I'll use you as an example, right? You sent me an amazing birthday card. I'm serious, because I think I have it right here, right?
I love stickers.
So you sent me amazing birthday card. I love this, by the way. This is amazing. So, but I didn't get back to you and say thank you until like last week, which is like 2 weeks or 2.5 weeks after my birthday. Why? Because I'm busy and somewhat careless at times. But
understandable.
The same thing goes when you're talking with people, especially if you meet someone at an event and you send someone a link. They're like, oh, I haven't looked at it yet. Why? Yeah, okay, because you're busy and you got off track or what have you. Everybody's that way. Life gets in the way. The most important thing you can do with people is have an interest. I consistently tell people, and I was with my kids over the weekend for a basketball tournament and trying to teach these 16, 17-year-olds or 16-year-olds, some of the important aspects of life from business, because they're really interested. I'm like, look, the greatest investment you'll ever make is in people, right? And don't try to ever sell anyone, because you're going to miss some of the key things that are going to allow you to be of great assistance to them, right? Just check in, say, hey, you know what? We met at this event and I've got some really cool stuff. How are you doing? I mean, take an interest and then ask questions. And if you do that, they'll give you everything you ever needed to say, oh man, the joint pain, being a massage therapist, I've added some stuff to my practice that's helping my patients, my clients significantly. I think you'd love it. And they go, well, really, what is it? Great. Let me send this to you again. So everybody has the opportunity to just be of interest and of influence, right? Because that's what we're doing. You're being of influence, so you're not trying, and this is the psychology of what we're doing. You're not selling anything, right? So you should never feel bad about contacting someone, right? Because, and this is the one thing that always just twisted me wrong with the direct sales or the MLM concept or any sales concept of the human psyche. You get butterflies, your gut just gets you a little bit off balance if you're not being authentic, or if you feel like you're trying to use undue influence to gain something else. But if you're authentic and you just take an interest in how someone's doing, what are you going to find? Because here's the answer. At the end of the day, who needs what you're sharing? Who can benefit from what you're sharing? Every single person you ever come in contact with, no matter their age, no matter their race, no matter their sex, or how they want to choose to identify themselves now, because that chaos is here. There isn't an individual or animal, as many are learning, that isn't going to benefit from what you're using and what you have access to. And that could be your own services, not just Clean Slate, Zero In, and Restore, or some of the other things that are to come. It's just a matter of you taking an interest in people, because we're building a community, right? And the stronger that community is, the better everybody is. It's not something that is sold, it's something that's shared. So just keep that in mind and just take an interest in people, converse. I mean, look at all this shit that people are still going through with all of this COVID stuff, right? People need a sense of community. They need communication. I would bet you the majority of people haven't had physical contact with another human being in a while, right? And they need someone to take interest, right? So take an interest in someone and just communicate. Just say, hey, how's it going? We met at this event, or I got your number from this event, because it's all like-minded people. So you can take an interest in them and just talk. So don't tell. Oh, and thank you again for the card, because I do love it.
You're welcome. As you can tell, I love stickers.
Mika never sent me a card.
Well, Clayton, because it's traveling from the other side of the world, that's why it's still maybe on the way.
No, there's e-cards. She could have sent me a message. I could have had it on Instagram.
Yeah. Sorry.
I didn't want one, but this was cool. So
I'm glad you enjoy. Thank you, Clayton.
All right, awesome. So let me just jump in for a very, very quick thing for Birgit that is asking here in this specific chat. So here's the point, guys. Like everybody have opportunity to choose whatever username they want as their website, right? I mean, they can have, like Birgit is saying, someone have registered, someone have place order, someone have order now, someone have buy now, whatever some people are gonna use for it, right? So again, it's first come, first serve in this specific one, right? Like once one specific username is taken, then everything what is around can be taken, but this specific one can be taken, right? No, that's the point. Is like, so if someone have if someone have register, let's say username, or someone have place order, or someone have buy now or whatever the username, they still need to share it, right? Like if they don't share it, like no one is gonna register through them. And anyway, so it's the same thing. It's like no one have any specific advantage, I would say, for having this specific username or something like that. I do understand that you might think like, okay, it's registered, or it's like buy now or whatever, but that's the reason why our website does not have any of those kind of I would say sub pages. See what I'm saying? Like there is no sub page that is called register or something like that, or there's nothing that would kind of like I would say make problem with kind of like wrong registrations or something like that. So this was all thought out from the IT team, and all the, I would say, all the usernames that needed to be taken has been taken. So they are not kind of like messing up with the replicated links or something like that. So. But again, it's just about, like Clayton said, sharing. Like if you don't share it, you can have whatever username, right? You can have a username called millionaire. But if you don't share it, this username is not gonna reflect the actual situation, right? So.
Nope, I'm back home. I was down in Atlanta over the weekend for a basketball tournament.
Okay. All right. Anyone else have a question?
Yes, I do. I got 3 bottles of Clean Slate. 2 were sealed and 1 was not sealed around the cap.
Okay.
So obviously, in terms of quality control, I mean, it was just me who received it, not a customer, but I would imagine that someone should have checked that.
Well, like, you know, there are several things always that can happen. It's like, you know, it can be through the posting, it could be through any different things. So what I would say is just please get back to the support as soon as possible. They're also gonna ask you, or you just provide them with whatever is the lot number below the bottle and also the expiration date. So basically, based on that, we can actually you know, go through it and make sure that there are some investigations made on those things to be able to, you know, to go forward on those specific ones. So yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
And then, if I may, just another question, and I already touched on it last time. I was wondering how other people deal with the new European label, where
for some reason,
not zeolite.
Okay,
I mean, I know it, but I'm just wondering how people, I mean, I've got a few customers who were so confused and said, well, yes, if, you know, it's a question of trust, I accept it, but it's a bit difficult to explain to people if you don't know them well, that there is zeolite in there, if it's not mentioned anywhere on the label. So, I mean, I can give them the English data sheet, but I'm still myself a bit confused.
Well, there is the thing, like, here is what you need to understand, like, whatever is on the label is in the product. You see what I'm saying?
Yes,
so,
but it just says silicon dioxide and not zeolite anywhere on the
right. And I can ask Clayton here, and he can explain to you the entire process again, like how this works. But that's it. It's connected together. Clayton, you wanna hit on that for a sec?
Well, I understand the science. It's just asking the team, how do you kind of convince your customers? Because, you know, it's a bit a question of trust for those people who are new to the product and who want to buy a zeolite product. And then you get a bottle and there's no mention of zeolite on there. It's more.
Maybe I can help.
I'm back. I'll let you guys answer that. I didn't hear the full question. I just got Verina's last part, but I can kind of help with some of that. That's where videos and such come in. But Peter, go ahead.
It's just a recommendation what I do, Verena.
Yes.
People are asking, of course, why isn't there zeolite on it anymore? And I just tell them, look, zeolites, they're about, or more like more than 120 zeolites out there. There are about 60 who can even be, I think, absorbed in the body. There are only 2 that we can actually use. But at the end, the active ingredient is not zeolite itself. The active ingredient is the salicylic acid. And I try to explain them a little bit like, hey, if you intake vitamin C, you're not asking where is it coming from directly. I tell them, look, vitamin C is the active ingredient from an orange or from a lemon or something. So the lemon is the zeolite and the vitamin C is the silicon acid. That's how I try to explain it.
Yeah, sounds good. Thanks, Peter.
The other thing that I would go over with people, because if you're sharing with them, is, and like I was going over a while ago, we could, and before we did this, we could change the label to say that it has anything in it. The outcomes are what matters.
Yes.
They're like, oh, well, I want a zeolite product. Well, do you want something that works, or do you want something with a pretty label? Me, I'll take something that works. It doesn't have to say that, oh, well, it has clinoptilolite in it. Well, great. Watch this video. It'll explain to you what this company does, because what's the differentiation between root and the rest of the zeolite space? Think about this.
If you come up with that,
what's that? Go ahead, Peter.
Sorry. If I do understand that what you're talking about, but if you would come up with this, let's say here in Germany, and I would even say in more than the Europe states, they would probably leave the room when you say it in the hotel, because they're like, oh my God, another one who wants to sell we call it a wonder solution.
Well, and that's where if I'm in a room of people, it's a completely different conversation. But
they're going to ask you this question.
So the video can help explain it, but the big part is, one, we're the only product in the category that's approved in Canada and will be finalized in the EU because of our process, like Peter was mentioning. But look at this. We're the only ones with a process that actually creates something new. Right? We start, our raw is clinoptilolite. And not only is it clinoptilolite, it is the purest form of clinoptilolite available globally. So, and it's funny because I was talking to a colleague of mine that sells the powders. He has a website that sells a ton of powder on it. And we were talking on Friday about this. He's like, yeah, you know, what we use is 94% pure. I'm like, that's really cool. Ours is 97.3. He's like, what? I thought we had the purest stuff. I'm like, no. But it's important to let people know, look, it's the process, but also all of these other zeolite products are selling a product that is not approved for use in the country that you're most likely in. They're not compliant because clinoptilolite in Europe is actually seen as a drug because of what it does and how it works. There's only one product that's actually gained certification. That's Clean Slate. So there's going to be some work done on our part to make sure that that's differentiated, and the parties that really need to know which products are not compliant are going to start to know those things. But it's about having the materials to share, and we're going to produce some more of that. But just letting people know, look, yeah, the company starts with clinoptilolite, but as Peter mentioned, the proprietary and the patented process, and here's the part that you can do, share Christina's patent, right? You can do that. It's marketing materials. Just say, hey, look, here's one of the patents. It's the first of 4 that are coming on the process that makes Clean Slate. And if you look at that patent, if you use it, and honestly, when I started in this space 16 years ago, when Weora launched natural cellular defense, that was the only thing we had to work with because we didn't know the product could work. We didn't have much science on it other than because a lot of it wasn't disclosed, but we just had the original patent, and the process of the patent became questionable because bad people wanting to get a hold of it or fight with it. But the title of that patent was an epithelial cell cancer drug. And it went nuts because people are like, oh, wow, you know what? If it does that, I want it. But if you look at Christina's patent, the first one, what does it say? Oh, it's antiviral. I think that's kind of valuable for people right now. And it has all of these other properties. So it gives you means of saying, look, one of the reasons that you don't see clinoptilolite on the label is because of the process that it's used. It takes natural occurring clinoptilolite and processes it into a new solution that has fragments and, as Peter said, the bioavailable silicon dioxide. And so if someone wants to get technical, and I would say you probably have the majority of people that have access to the resources so they can see, you know what, even if I don't see it on the label, I see what's happening in people and I want to try that for myself. Mm-hmm. But yeah, just help with the feedback on it. If we need to produce, an additional explanation, and I'm working with Christina on that because we're going to have a viral conversation, and the vaccine conversation has become so prevalent now. And she has a very unique perspective because of her work history. She worked with mRNA vaccines when she was at GlaxoSmithKline working on HIV. And so and she's actually now open to having a conversation about the science behind it and why they've never been used before. But that's side conversation, but just letting people know, look, the company and the product is unique because of how it's processed. Every other company is basically taking a little powder and throwing it in water, and some of them throw it in a little bit of acid, stir it around a little bit, and then add some water and throw it in a bottle. And this is completely different. And that's why our outcomes are different.
Thank you. Yeah, helpful.
As you just mentioned that we are kind of unique, I just have a very quick one. As we are, as I know, one of two having a liquid one. Can you give a very short differentiation about those two?
Wait, hold on, say that again.
As I know, there are only two liquid zeolites, liquid silicon acids on the market, right?
What's the other one?
What is it called? TXR?
Oh, TRS?
Oh, yeah.
It's not.
It's not what?
Oh, I've actually got an ongoing Facebook Messenger battle going on with I guess he's one of the top income earners for that product. One, I was one of the co-founders of Cosiva. I have the documentation to prove it if somebody wants to call me on it. But the original product that they have, which was the predecessor to what Clean Slate became, I pulled from them rather quickly because of their lack of ethics. What they sell now, they claim to be a zeolite. It is not. It is a synthetic aluminosilicate.
Ouch.
So the argument that they make is, oh, it's lab grown, so it's healthier. The one thing that you can tell people is like, great, when are you going to start eating lab grown meat? When are you going to start eating lab grown vegetables? And do you, if you're in Amsterdam, ask people if they smoke synthetic marijuana and if they prefer that over the natural. It'll kill you. You don't use synthetics. You take synthetic supplements because your body is meant to use what's natural. The problem with that product, and Sandy sent me a video, and Sandy has a little task to get a hold of the guy. But the big thing is they're not even in the same class.
Clayton, I need to because I'm talking to a doctor friend of mine I've known for a couple years, and I just had a conversation with him last night. And I said, I was hesitant to share this with you because he's on an advisory board for somebody else. But I finally, because I care about him because he's a dentist, and he's actually a holistic dentist. And I had a conversation with him last night, and he said that he has some kind of alien friend that he does take a zeolite, and he's been doing chelation for 21 years. So when
just send him the YouTube of Marina. I mean, Dr. Marina Carew is on YouTube, and she's one of the best holistic dentists you're going to find. And
correct. But when you had said, because my mind was spinning, when you had said that, that theirs are not compliant and ours is, proven and the only one approved. What is because he takes a zeolite, what is something that I can share with him, to look for? How do you
easy. Here's a simple thing for you guys, and I'm going to have an email sent out that we send to all of our customers. Success leaves clues, right? If you want the most powerful tool, if someone's like, well, how is yours different? Great. Go to youtube.com, type in The Root Brand and subscribe. It's free, but spend a couple minutes, pick a subject. And if you want a PhD in environmental toxicology, spend 60 hours or so and watch everything. Watch it all.
I did share that with him.
You'll basically have a doctorate in environmental toxicology, but you know what's interesting is all of that information is talking about all of these other issues, but what does it tie back to? One subject, one product, one solution that's proven by a bunch of doctors, a bunch of scientists, and a whole lot of case studies. So here's the big question. Clinoptilolite products have been out for, I don't know, 20, 30 years. Why is it that not until now has a company been able to produce the kind of data and the kind of material that we're producing? Oh, it's because we're different. And oh, by the way, we're better. So that's the challenge I would put out there. Great. You know what? How come you haven't done what we've done?
Thank you.
And you can see I get passionate about it because, you know, I challenge people on it. So great, you use another zeolite product. If you're using a powder, great, keep doing it. They're great in the gut. But if you want to clean up from head to toes, you want your hair to look amazing, you want your skin to get clearer, you want your vision to get better, you want your nails to grow like crazy, you want your liver to thank you, you want your kidneys to start working properly, you want cardiac function to improve, you want your hormones to get better, you might want to try this stuff. I go, huh? A little bit different, right? Because here's the question for the rest of the zeolite industry, right? Because TRS is so great. Great. One, why don't you preserve it properly? Two, why haven't you done anything to improve permeability across membranes? Three, why haven't you added the trace minerals to decrease the risk of mineral gapping? Oh, because they don't know science and they're using a product that is safe for the petroleum industry and the tire industry. That's what it's used for. But they're putting it in a little plastic bottle and telling people they can drink it when it's never been approved for human consumption. It's not safe for human consumption. And the company and some of those Facebook groups do a really good job of blocking people that have had negative experiences with that product, and there's a lot of them, so they don't go public. And I was making the comment earlier, I've worked with, I don't know, a few 100,000 people, you know, from people I've worked with directly and then through organizations I've worked with over the years. So with a few 100,000 people and 16 years of experience, never once have I had a negative outcome. Never hurt anybody with what we're doing. And so humans and animals, right? So that's some of the differentiation aspects. And honestly, if you have people of like serious influence that are doctors or people of great influence that have questions, and I've mentioned this in my, as long as I have the time available, ask. I'm here. This is family, guys. This is community, right? I'm here. I'm just like the rest of us. And so if there's someone that says, I have questions that are greater than what you can answer, great. Let me send a message to the CEO. Let me get him on. Well, why can he talk? I don't know. Watch YouTube. Right? Because that reference, there's 1,700 people. I think we've got 1,700 or so subscribers on the YouTube channel. We have over 21,000 members, customers, ambassadors. See the disconnect? You're not using the greatest asset you have. I mean, just tell people, look, subscribe to the channel so it pops up because it's your best research resource. If someone goes through that channel and they go, okay, there's holistic dentistry. Okay, there's some stuff on depression. There's some stuff on Parkinsonism and dementia. There's a whole thing on diabetes. There's a whole thing on autism. There's a whole, lead, mercury, cadmium, arsenic, aluminum. There's pieces on all of those. Aerotoxic syndrome. Birgit's here. Birgit, with what you've dealt with in your career in the flight space, have you ever seen any results like this?
We're having a big surge of people from the flight industry coming in, and we just had a new addition a flight attendant that flies the Airbus A340 of Angela Merkel, our chancellor, and she is rooted now. And you know, all the pilots, all the people that are constantly in a toxic environment in the air, or even people maybe on the boat, you know, that was in the Suez Canal, if they're trying to get free. I think the fumes that come out of those engines that try to set them free are terrible, you know. So wherever we are in big industry and work there, we need clean slate. And please, don't make it too complicated. Just help. I have one person who makes it so complicated. She gets the worst question customers, and I say, look, just tell them, try it and see the results. And trust me, I'm not going to poison you, because I'm here, you know where I am, you can sue me, and I tried it myself. I would never give you anything that would harm you. Here I stand with my good name. Take it, try it, and then tell me how different you feel. That's how we do it now. We don't take those people and ask, oh, does it help against fungus on the toes, or does it help against hair loss or whatever. We say it's a roundabout product that gives your body everything that you have been losing over the past years because you were toxic. You were, like our CEO likes to say, a toxic cesspool.
A beautiful cesspool.
Yeah, but you know, it's so easy, and I wouldn't make it so complicated with asking, where does the clinoptilolite come from, and what is silicon dioxide? It's a quartz, naturally, you know, that I studied that for 4 years, so I know what it is. I can tell people. Then people ask me, can you write me down a sentence that I can tell to my customers? I say, no, I can't, because you have to do it in your own words, or you will be me and not you.
So the one thing that I think she's hitting on is, when you're sharing with people, you're sharing with people that you know and that you're close to, right? So just tell them, look, I use this stuff. I love it. The reason I'm telling you, you know, if you share someone, and I don't know if you guys have Netflix over there, but if you share one of your favorite shows on Netflix with your friends, do they go, well, who's the producer? And who's the executive producer? How many actors are in it? And what's the history of the actor? And where did they come from? Where did they go to acting school? Was it in New York? Was it in LA? Did they come from Europe? Have they ever been in Paris? No. They go, oh, cool, let me watch it. Why? Because it's coming from you. You're making the referral. If somebody questions you on, oh, well, why? What about this? What about this? Why? Because I'm using it and I love it. Am I an idiot? And if they know you, they go, sometimes. But then they go, if you like it, you're using it. Okay, I'll try it. Because what are you doing? You're sharing with them something that can help them. You're not trying to sell them on something, and you're not pitching them on a business opportunity. It's like, dude, you got to try this stuff. And they go, okay. So that's just it. When you're getting that kind of issue, look internally. It might not be the message, right? It might be the messenger, because of how it's being delivered, how it's presenting, or how you are presenting it. And so take that out of the equation. Just tell people, look, I'm using this stuff. I love it. You don't have to talk about everything else, right? I'm using this stuff. I've been using it. This is why I'm liking it. I figured you'd like it too, because I know you want to be healthy, or you know what? You can tell somebody, you look like a miserable wretch. You need some zero in. You look stressed out, or I know what you're doing is probably wearing you out. So you probably want to feel better, right? Yeah, great. There's a pill for that now. Give me 5 of those currently. Go ahead, Birgit.
No, we're doing that now, as we have all the pilots and stewardesses now that need to fly through the night and then land, which is the most dangerous act during the whole flight, when they are the most tired, you know. So, and after landing, they have to drive home safely to their home, often far away, and they do it perfectly. We've lost some on the way already in the previous years. We're giving it to everyone now who works night shifts in a hospital, doctors who have 24, 48-hour shifts, and they can sleep on it for 2 hours. And then when a patient is needing intensive care, he's being woken up and he is focused. He is there. I have worked in a clinic, and the doctors that woke up were totally goo-goo like I am usually when I wake up from deep sleep, and they made mistakes by administering things, and luckily we were there to watch it and say, oh, not the whole one, and not immediately, just half of the syringe, and Strofantin or something like this with a hard needle. So I don't want to elaborate too much, but we give it to everyone who needs to work on the front at night and be awake and aware of everything they're doing. Even truck drivers, we have a lot of truck drivers now that transport our goods during COVID now, and I call them the heroes of the Autobahn in Germany, because they have to be so aware. I mean, they always stop and they go with a little distance between them just to go up a hill or so, and if one stops, the other one crashes into him. And so they have to be aware during the whole night and get up early. All those people, we give it to students that have a test. We give it to actors who have stage fright. We give it to singers who have stage fright. When they come in the limelight, they are so cool and so relaxed with Zero In, they can do their thing, and that is important. So just make yourself a whole list of people that you know that need Zero In. Don't always think clean slate, think also Zero In, because that is a super, super, super thing to do. And I take it on my tongue always now, because I got so used to the taste. And that was Mika who did that video, and I tried it right after, and it's fantastic. Thank you, Mika, for giving me the taste of Zero In pure on a spoon.
So here's one thing for you guys. I'm going to give you a special treat, because how many people we got on here? There's 30 people. He won't go on camera, but he's going to stand next to me because he says he's got a face for radio. Well, you can be there. You're good. You can stand. There you go. Say, there you go. So this is Brett. What your background? I'll say he's been ex-spec ops as, well, sniper, recon.
Yeah, I was a long-range recon guy for U.S. Army Special Operations for 20 years. I retired back in 2015. And since then, I've had just a litany of health issues, one after another, until last year, I was finally diagnosed having rheumatoid arthritis. It was getting to where I could barely function during the day, and my pain levels were ridiculous, through the roof. And Clayton got me on Clean Slate. Well, it didn't take maybe a total of about 4 months from the time I started to where I went back in and I had 0 markers for rheumatoid arthritis. What it ended up being was heavy metal toxicity from years of everything from lead all the way down to depleted uranium that was in my system.
And the vaccines.
Vaccines like that. We're, test dummies for every medicine that comes through the U.S. During that time, I also had a wreck, motor vehicle wreck, that left me with 6 fractures in my neck, my ear torn off my head, and my face was completely destroyed. 2 weeks later, from every day after the wreck, taking Clean Slate, 2 weeks later, I was back on my feet and looked 99% healed. Followed that up with a tattoo removal, a laser tattoo removal, that every day I treated with Clean Slate on Clayton's direction. And usually you have to wait 8 weeks between removal appointments. I was able to cut that down to 4 weeks for the first 2. And then I did 2 back-to-back 2-week spans to finish it out. The whole time, all I used was Clean Slate on it. So now, as a 44-year-old retired Army Special Operations guy, who this time last year could barely walk, I've dropped about 40 pounds. I've gotten way back into working out. My energy levels are good. And just overall, I can't believe the difference in my health. It has helped with everything from sleeping, stress, anxiety, everything you can imagine. And people just don't understand what they have in them. Like, I'm not going to lie. I thought this was craziness when I first heard it and put zero faith in it. But I took Clayton at his word and gave it a shot. And seriously, couldn't be happier with the results. It's the best thing that I've ever done as far as for my body in 44 years.
So you got a thanks from one of the guys here that was in the was it the 275 Ranger Battalion?
Oh, really?
Yeah. So Kent, you want to say? So where's Ken at? He's like, now Brett will he's like, wait a minute. I can say hi to him.
Hey, I'm right here.
Hey, there he is.
I'm cool. I can say hi to people with tabs.
Yeah.
How's it going, brother?
How you doing, man?
Doing great, man.
So, I mean, that should give you guys a little bit of a foundation, right? Of just being able to share with those around you and those your friends. Like for Ken, I mean, how many guys you know that have served you've been on the range? And this is like Brett was talking about. How many rounds did you go through a week?
We shot 10,000 a month.
10,000 rounds a month, right? And how much lead is expressed from that they're inhaling and what's on the range, cleaning rifles and the solvents.
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere. It just soaks in.
Soldiers live a toxic life.
So I'll have to get you guys
foods in our C rations. I mean, look at all of our C rations, super processed, lowest bitter junk that we got to survive off of while we're in the field.
So, I mean, the one thing I was going over with Brett when we first sat down to talk about this, he gave me a list of all of the things he was being treated for: Gulf War syndrome, anxiety, the PTSD, the rheumatoid arthritis. I'm like, dude, you don't have, and you probably remember this conversation. It's like, yeah, you don't have any of that shit. You're just toxic.
That's right. We're just toxic.
And cleaning, I mean, he's it. He was our first test subject from a military standpoint. But if you've ever served, I mean, honestly, you know your exposure, and especially the Gulf War syndrome. This just in, Gulf War syndrome is depleted uranium.
Yep.
I mean, it's depleted uranium and a lot of mercury and a lot of metals, and this is the thing of, great, why not just share with your friends? And if you're in the military, I mean, you talk about a brotherhood, right? You talk about a community. It's just a matter of saying, hey, and Ken, I'll get you together with Brett. It would be fun just to do a video, of you guys, just having a chat.
I'd love that, man. That'd be great.
Talking through stuff, because this is the community aspect, right, guys? It's not just, oh, I'm available, but you should be finding some of those friends in our community and saying, hey, I got a friend that does this. Can we do a Zoom? Can we do something? Just record it. We can put it on YouTube. You can put it on social media. You can put it in the groups. All of these experiences are invaluable to someone else, right? And it's just it. Are we selling anything? No, it's just a matter of sharing. You know what would have happened if Brett was in the office and I didn't talk to him? He'd be in freaking misery right now. Instead, he's a completely different dude.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I am zero doubt mentally, I am still vertical right now because of that. Like, it had gotten to where it was super hard to function day in and day out. And they're telling you every other day that you've just got something mentally wrong with you because of your choice of profession. And it turned out not to be that. I had something physically wrong with me because of my choice of profession. And we cleared that up. And it not only changed my physical standpoint, but also my mental outlook. PTSD is, for me, it was chemical imbalances that were causing those same symptoms. The serotonin, melatonin was all being choked out over years of this adrenal flooding. And now everything's back to normal. I sleep more than 25 minutes at a time. I get more than 2 or 3 hours of sleep a day, collectively, just added together in little disco naps. It's really been a life changer.
So,
brother, we got to get that testimonial, and we got to get it out, because listen, man, I'm a practitioner myself, so it took a while to get some of our guys to make some strides, right? And I've been reaching out to the community, the guys that I rolled with back in the day, talking to them one by one. We all have the same damn problems. They're all the same. We're strong people. We're not weak people. We went out and put our lives on the line. We did it well. We did it better than all the other militaries that are in existence, and we came home alive. We deserve to feel human, man. It's not just the programming that they say that we get. It's the crap that we got in us. It's not the programming that made us sharp. That made us very, high functioning humans. We learned tricks of the brain to push our bodies further than most people will ever push their bodies. It's what makes people want to hire guys like us.
Yep.
Okay? Because we're sharp and we believe in what we do. We wake up with passion and we go knock shit out the park. Why are we suffering on our homeland? And it's all due to the overload of toxic junk that's just been built up. And once we get this out, we're just awesome again. And that's the big deal. We just want to get back to being amazing.
And they've treated it with more crap. Like in the last 2 years, I've buried 6 of my guys.
That was going to be my next question: is like how many guys you know have swallowed barrels?
A pistol in the last 2 years. Every one of them, it was because of med issues through the VA not getting the medicine that they need. And once they started taking that medicine on already depleted chemicals in their brain, once they started taking that medicine, their brain produced even less. Their receptors went just completely inadequate. So then they come off of that medicine and now they're worse than they were when they started it. And I have buried way too many guys at home in the States than needs to be done. Like I'm getting to the point to where I've damn near buried as many here at home than I did downrange. And the Army's really good about teaching you how to keep guys vertical, how to keep guys alive when you're in a fight. They don't do shit to tell us what to do with guys once we get home.
No. There is no unplugged program.
Hey,
got to get back to your roots.
75th has holistic medicine guys now.
So see, guys, this is the sense of community. These are the things that you have in your hands. It's not about anything other than just creating that sense of community. So, yeah, Ken, we will have a chat. We'll put this together real quick because, like Brett was just saying that the 75th actually has a holistic?
Yeah, holistic medicine and wellness program started up. So there's at least a major or above tied into that holistic medicine program. I've seen it in all throughout Ranger Regiment, and CAG guys definitely have it, and a few other special operations groups, but it's trickling down into the conventional Army. And I'm sure
this shouldn't take us long. This shouldn't take us long, because if we can get in touch with those dudes, that are, those colonels or majors or who's ever, running those programs, this should be a no-brainer. It's easy to do and it's portable. So
Brad, let's go.
Get in the pack, get it in the loadout. Let's go.
The guy at Bragg, we can go.
See, even our people in the UK are getting excited over listening to our military talk.
Come on, man. I bet both of us on this phone have trained with British SAS. Okay, they got the same damn problem, same issues.
The same war, just different clothes.
Yep,
that's right, man.
So, I gotta go run errands. Any final questions? That was a little more enlightening than you guys were expecting, wasn't it?
It was awesome. It was amazing.
So, I mean, this is what you guys have in your hands, right? I mean, so when you ask, oh, well, why should you try this? It doesn't say clinoptilolite on it. Your answer is, do you know what I just freaking heard? It's not what I'm telling you guys. It's not what's on the label. It's what's in the bottle. This is marketing. This is substance. Guess what happens here? I'm going to do something for you. I'm going to use this one. Guess what happens when you do this? Let's see if I do this right. Oh, it doesn't have a label on it anymore. Guess what it does? It gets freaking results. It's not this. It's this. We can change this to make sure it can go into any market it needs to, because this is what matters. Marketing outcomes. People aren't paying for this. They're paying for this. I'm going to put it back on here so I'm official. Because we can't be mislabeling products, can we? It doesn't look as pretty when you take it off. Actually, it does have kind of a nice accent. So that's the homework. Any more questions?
I'm just saying you can never put on the label what it does in the body. So it would have a label that you have to extend like a Leporello of 24 pages to tell all the testimonials we heard and everything it does. So just try it and see the results, the outcomes, and be happy and be customer forevermore.
Good. So hopefully this is the first time in a while I hopped on this, so I apologize for taking over.
That's fine. Thank you.
As long as we keep failing forward, we're going to be good.
Ooh, you shame.
Great call. Absolutely.
So we're going to have some fun tomorrow. I think we're going to put out a message that I won't be doing it'll be 2 o'clock because you guys all sprung forward, because I think there's many of you on here are Europeans, finally sprung forward. So it'll be at the 1 o'clock and 2 o'clock my time. But I'm not going to do a 2 o'clock tomorrow, because what I'm going to do with Dory is going to go for a bit. So it's going to be a Q&A with her tomorrow. So if you've got questions, like all this stuff, and we'll have it on video, send her the questions that you guys want, but it'll also be an open forum. So if you're on, you'll be able to ask some questions, as long as you're not like Katie and you're completely drunk when you come on.
So I wanted to ask you something about that, Clay.
Yeah, go ahead.
That was an awesome training. It was an awesome training about athletes and stuff and that. And I saw you recorded it, but will there be a special about athletes and horses, and or can you make it that you can publish the video without Katie, something like it? Because that was an awesome training for
I think
people.
we got it edited. I've got a bunch that I have to get posted. Like we have the EMF video, or the EMFs, and a few of them that I have to get posted that Dory sent over. But if you guys have topics, like one, I'm gonna have to get Brett. I'll get Brett my root mask, so he can wear that, and then we'll get Ken on there. We need to do a military one, and have some of those. But if you guys have topics that you want, because if you look at what we already have on the YouTube channel, there's like 60. I mean, there's 60 recordings, over 60 hours of content. And if you look at what it takes to get a master's degree, it's like 60 hours, right? So, I mean, it gives you an idea of the content that's there.
I would appreciate a whole video, of course, for the whole sports people.
Yeah.
Like on the science side, what can it do on specific sports stuff? And yeah, name some, let's say normal gym, like weightlifting, name also ball sports arts, and maybe the fighting and whatever, what it can do for who, so that, yeah. You get
let's put that together. You know, put together an outline and let's do that. I'll give you guys. This is my last piece, and then we'll go because I got to run to get some errands done. But my 16-year-old had his first AAU tournament this weekend, and so we had seven boys on the team, and 4 were taking 0 in. Because Kreider, my son, he takes 3. The other boys were taking 2. And a couple of them had taken it before. They take it for school because my son passes them out like Skittles. But all of the 4, and then eventually on the second day, it was 5. They're like, dude, I am so zeroed in. This is absolutely amazing. And what I got to see was quite unique. I got to see a 16-year-old point guard in a 3-point game with 58 seconds left, knock down 6 free throws in a row in a matter of a minute and not flinch. He got fouled. He went to the line. He went, good, went back, got the ball again, got fouled, good, went back, got fouled, good. Didn't even think. Nothing changed in his mannerisms. It was all just repetition. There was no stress. That's what 0 in does for sports. That's also what 0 in can do. And I see Ken nodding. If you're under stressful situations, if you're in combat, people, I mean, if we do this right, military service professionals, EMTs, as Birgit was mentioning, doctors, nurses, police officers, firefighters, this is something that's massive for all of them because the stress response is what creates mistakes. Training is designed to overcome that. If you take training and the elimination of stress because of what your dopamine and serotonin levels do to inhibit the sympathetic response, so you have all your training and no inhibitions and no fatigue because dopamine overcomes fatigue. What happens? Outstanding performance.
You slip into the alpha state better, quicker.
You zone out.
And you can maintain it.
You absolutely zone out because, and this is the interesting part with our kids because of where they live and that they're soft. But I gave a challenge to one of my kids, our point guard. And you just have to find motivation with these kids. It's kind of crazy. But in our second game on Saturday, I was getting frustrated with him. So I pulled him aside. I'm like, look, I bet you $5 you can't drop 20 in the second half. And which is a pretty good feat to put up 20 points in 16 minutes on a running clock. He put up 20 without effort and looked at me. He's like, do I get my money? I'm like, it took that motivation for you to do that? And he came over and sat down after the game. I was like, you understand, you just put up 20. I think he dropped 21 or 22 in a half. I'm like, how do you feel? He's like, dude, I feel amazing. I'm like, yeah, there's your sign. You just got to figure out the mechanism. Hold on, you send it to WhatsApp?
No, I'll send it to
Telegram?
No, I'll send it to your
text. Here. I'll see if I can show them these. Let me see if I can do this. So that's Brett, what he was talking about before. You're looking for the after ones? That was time of?
That was August.
Let me see if that was August when he had his car accident. Let me see if I can go back to August because you sent me those two. And then we're trying to find the 2 weeks later real quick so you can see those. Oh, I know where it is. I think I know who sent them to me. Let me see if I can go back and find them here. So my last part's taking a little longer because now we have cool imagery.
That was me getting my ear put back on.
Yeah, he was in a bad car accident. When you wake up on the other side of the car and you don't know where you are, bad day. Come on. I'm going back. The power of text messages. Anyway, I'll find them. We'll put the imagery together so you guys can see it. You can see the before. Okay, there's goodies. That was after that. What's that?
What color we're wearing tomorrow?
I don't know. We got to coordinate. So that's the gist of it. But it gives you guys an idea that what you're playing with is a lot more powerful even than you comprehend. And the impact that you can have on people's lives is greater than anyone that you're talking to can really understand, because they've never seen anything like it. And I can see the wheels turning in Ken's head right now because of you. And sometimes all it takes is hearing it so you believe it, right? You might live it. It might be in you. You're like, man, this is really good stuff. But when you hear it from someone else, you're like, oh man, I need to reach out to some people.
Yeah.
That's it. Because this isn't about money. I mean, we continue to reiterate that, right? This isn't about money. It's like Brett was just going over. He's got 6 guys that are close to him that aren't here because they couldn't deal with it anymore. And I won't have the conversation with here because he's standing right next to me over how many times he thought about doing the same thing. So, because if this ain't right, nothing else is right. Birgit, go ahead.
I just wanted to tell you something funny that happened today. I have diabetes type 2, or I should say I sort of had it until I found Clean Slate and Zero in August. And in September, my doctor was already wondering, and I was there and tested. Everything is getting better and better and better, and weight down and blood sugar down and whatever, liver values better. So today he wrote me after we requested an excuse for getting the inoculation, the COVID vaccine quicker because we're diabetes patients. He wrote me back, well, here is your certificate, but really you are a low priority because your diabetes is sort of taken care of. And he's asking me, what did I do? And I told him, and he was listening, and he's an endocrinologist. So, we have something there that every doctor can see. And with my example, I could show you my values and you would say, hey, from August till now, and I dropped 3 clothes sizes and everything is under control, So they always told me diabetes type 2 is not reversible. Fine, but I have it under control. That's good enough, isn't it? And I will be a lifelong diabetes patient, but I will lifelong take my Clean Slate and have it under control. So what the heck?
And that's if you watch the diabetes YouTube, that Dory did, and I think it's at about the 20-minute mark. It's 20 or 23 minutes that she cites 2 studies, one of them on black cumin seed. And it's one study done with 2 things, black cumin seed oil and clinoptilolite, done in rats on type 2 diabetes. And what they found is that it wiped out type 2 diabetes. No mas. So what does this do? And what is restore? Good times. So we'll leave it with that. That is a fun Monday. So I'm going to get to stuff. You guys get to stuff. Oh, did you find it? Oh, just in time before we finish. Don't hang up now. But wait, there's more. These are
2 weeks to the day.
Did you send them to me?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Here it comes. So before, that's not very good. Before, after 2 weeks. Before.
That's how it's done. That's what we need in life right there.
After.
Very sexy.
Before, after.
Yay!
Hey, Brett, Birgit says your before was very sexy.
Oh, well, just because of the tab.
So there you go. so we can finish with that. So, as a wise man once said, he gets the game of, you want to know how I got these scars? There's stories. So, there you go. So, see you guys tomorrow. Let the fun begin. Hopefully, this was helpful. You got some of the business questions in. Dino said that we wouldn't talk about products, but if I'm here, then that ain't gonna happen. So, cheers all. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Peter, put that list together. Let's do the sports. And then Ken, we're on it.
I'm not going to do tomorrow.
Done.
Tomorrow sports.
We're doing a Q&A with Dory tomorrow.
Yeah, but I won't have the time to put the list together until tomorrow. So let's do it next time.
Yeah, we'll do it next week. So we'll do sports. I'll do sports next week, so we can put that together. I'll see if I can get the kids, and I'll have a couple of the kids do a little chat. I'll see if I can put that on video too. And
what I asked earlier in the chat, do you have Kreider doing the throws? Do you have that on video or someone?
The which one?
The throws from Kreider?
Free throws, yeah, it wasn't Kreider that did it. He actually clanked only 2 free throws. But Jason, our point guard, yeah, I've got those. Yeah, I've got it on video.
Maybe you can put that later into the call, like edit. That would be cool.
Yeah, no, I'm terrible with video editing, but I know people. So
awesome.
Yeah, we'll work on doing that. All right.
See ya.
Bye, y'all.
What time tomorrow?